Hey, lady. You can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to go ahead and link it to Facebook now or wait until exactly 6 o'clock?
It doesn't matter.
What's wrong with your lighting?
You can't see me? I'm in the room.
Your light blinking. What's going on?
I don't know. Okay, what about now?
That look good. Whatever you just, now it's dark again. What you just did?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's light now. It's light now.
I don't know why I keep going in and out.
It look like
I'm sick. Like I'm playing Haunted House.
Like you going, woo.
Because the computer keep. What about now? No. Let me see. Now. Every time the computer moves, because it's on my. No. Okay. Let me see if I have. I don't want my closet background because I'm in the room.
That's good. Whatever you just did, right?
Every time I move. Okay. What about now?
But your head cut off. Now you
can't.
You froze. Okay. You dark.
I'm trying to fix it. Okay.
There you go. What is it?
I don't know. It's the ghost in my thing. Let me see. Do you see me now? I have to hold this side. It's clear now?
It ain't light.
No?
It was. I see you, but it ain't light. There you go. You light. You light. But your head cut off. It looks good.
Well, my hair just gonna have to be cut off for the people. What about now? Okay, hold on. I might. If I set this book to make the height of the computer.
Like whatever you're doing now, you're light.
But now I'm dark again.
Yes.
I'm dark. I'm still dark. Okay.
You was just light. What is it? You light. You light. You dark. You light, but I only see your lips.
What?
You light. Now you dark. You light now. I like
but
the polish. That's Carisha pink. Carisha light pink.
If you like me, you should have put a ring on it. Look.
Yeah. Okay. You practicing?
Hello.
You practicing? What you say? If you what?
Period. Look. Period. I'm dark. I'm back. I'm light now, right? I'm light. Okay. They're just not gonna be able to see the top of my head, will they?
I almost wasted something. Hey D, Nika and them having a party at their house, a little food and stuff tonight. After these lives.
I have so much work to do.
Nothing. You don't want to go live? Yeah. Hey. Yeah. 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 Look what's on that road. My teeth clean.
They are glistening.
Shayna, I'ma go ahead and connect Facebook. You ready?
I need to put some chapstick on my lips. Damn. But then I'm gonna lose my half.
Go do what you gotta do.
I want to keep licking my lips like. What?
Huh?
Okay. Everyone in the house is settled. Just gotta have good lighting. I
Huh?
was set.
What's the name of this shit? Shayna, you good?
Yes, I'm fine.
I didn't know if you can hear while I'm in that state. All right.
While you're in what?
While
I can hear you.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure we're connected.
Yes.
Hi. We're on. How are you? How you doing? We live.
I just can't see like who's in or who you're speaking with. I just see you, and I see that.
That's all you're gonna see, unless you take and put your other device on on Facebook, and then you can see the communications, if any. But if people are communicating, I can see them on this end. You good?
Yeah.
You good?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay. So let me close the door. Okay, give me 1 second. Hello, everyone. How you doing? This is Angie Moss with Hosanna Corporation, better known as Hosanna for Youth. We're here tonight to, we're going to talk about holistic success, achieving holistic success. And I'm saying that like that because I want you all to understand, you know, when people hear holistic success, they automatically start to think about, you know, spirituality, you know what I'm saying? But it's an overall, the entire, you know, how the kids are doing now on what is it? TikTok. And I put it in the title, Shayna. Introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, I am Marshana Washington, better known as Queen Body Fitness. And yes, I'm here to speak about, discuss, chat, and talk about holistic success. Look good.
Yeah, I was getting ready to do body, yada, yada. Yeah, I was gonna do that, but I'm not. So I'm gonna sit myself down. Because
Too much.
when you think about holistic success, it's self-care. Let me bring it closer to home. It's the new year. I can't even begin to tell you that, you know, people are stressed out. A lot has been going on between coronavirus, right?
Correct.
COVID, I'll say COVID-19, between COVID-19, the pandemic, the, you know, storming of the, the Capitol, you know, that's stress. And then dealing with family issues in your own family, you know what I'm saying? It's extremely stressful. So we figured that Hosanna for You will use our platform for the beginning of the year. This is our very first live podcast for 2021. So with this being I just want to give you a little bit of information before we get into what we're here to do tonight. Hosanna for Youth is a nonprofit located in Florida and Georgia that provides services for personal development, for mental health, for physical fitness. And one of our programs, which has made a name for us here in Broward County, you need one? I'm sorry, I've been having so much going on. Look in there. One of the things that has given us a name here in Broward County is our Exposed to Conversation platform. That's a program actually for those that's been impacted by incest, molestation, and rape. So you got that? Am I talking too fast?
No. I got it. I received it.
Okay. So with that, we have Exposed to Conversation. And that's the incest, molestation, or rape by a family member or a trusted family friend. It also includes human trafficking and domestic violence. We also have a program called Hugs. That's our LGBTQ plus program for youth only, 17 and under, not for adults. It's for youth only. So that program is for, you see my key? Hold on one second, y'all. Look in the trunk, there's some in the trunk. That program is for LGBTQ plus youth, dealing with the bullying, the body shaming, the sexual identity, coming out, which is a huge thing, homelessness, and all other things that LGBTQ youth endure, especially acceptance. So that program is here. And we also have our Maximize Fitness to Greatness, which is overseen by the one and only Queen Body Fitness. So here we are. We wanted to come into the new year with getting everybody mindset to a total self-care regimen. Yes. And how to achieve that. Because you can't have a healthy body, right, with a bad spirit.
Right.
Right? Does that make sense?
Right.
And you can't have a good spirit and no finances, like, your finances all jacked up, because you're going to be worried and stressed out about the bills.
Right.
So it's a total package, and in all of it, you got to have the spirituality, in tune, because that's the core of it. So when you hear achieving holistic success, in your definition, Marshana, what is it?
Okay, so holistic success means being, to me, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally grounded to achieve greatness with unstoppable confidence.
Ooh. With what, girl?
Unstoppable.
Did y'all hear her say unstoppable confidence? Now, in the past, I know people would, make up the outside, go and find them a nice outfit, get their hair done, put the makeup on, and then be broken inside. So do you all understand that in order to start, you have to start somewhere in dealing with that internal stuff? That's Hosanna for youth, in a sense, some people are dealing with some things from childhood. It's not always incest, molestation, and rape. Trust me, it's not always that. Some people just had bad parents, had bad parenting from their parents. Let me say that. Or some parents didn't know. I mean, I'm still learning, and my kids are grown. I'm still learning. Hey, at one time I thought, go ahead.
I think the overall of being grounded mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, to have unstoppable confidence is being comfortable with the person that you see in the mirror. Do you like that person? And if you don't like the person that you are seeing in the mirror, then how are you going to change? And be honest, be truthful with your with yourself and your thoughts that you have. That way, when someone is speaking negative thoughts or judging your character, you won't be so defensive because you are comfortable with the person that you see in the mirror. And if you're not,
Exactly.
then take that time to readjust, to sit down, to analyze, reflect, and reset.
Ooh, adjust, analyze, reflect, and reset. Hi,
Hi, how are you?
Hello, hello.
good. I'm glad you joined us.
I'm glad I was able to catch you all. You all are very busy, which is very good.
Yes, we're already live and we're on Facebook, and our conversation tonight is achieving holistic success. So we're touching on that in a sense because it's the beginning of the year
Mm-hmm.
and everybody needs to do some self-care in that
Right.
manner. So
Agreed.
yeah, so Marshana was just speaking and she said, what you said, Marshana, adjust.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
reflect.
said that if you adjust, reflect, analyze, and reset. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're uncomfortable with the person that you see in the mirror, then you are going to sit down, be honest with that uncomfortable person, analyze, and reset. And
I like it.
you may not be uncomfortable with everything. It just may be different parts of you that needs adjustment, that needs to be repolished, remolded. But if you don't sit down and actually be real with that uncomfortable person and get in tune with those feelings, then you're never going to be able to reset. You're going to always find yourself going back to that same habit, that same thing. And you're saying, well, dang, I revisit this a year ago, 2 months ago. And
Mm-hmm.
why is it now revisiting itself again? It's coming back to surface. And that's because
Right.
you have not allowed yourself to deal with that aspect or the other things that allow you to be so great.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
You
I
see the
agree.
birds.
I'm, there's only one way to eat an elephant, and that's piece by piece. So,
Mm-hmm.
those were all like great suggestions. But for, some of us, we have to piece some stuff out. I revisit often. I complete my self inventory. I try to do it quarterly. Um,
Right.
but at the same time, you have to acknowledge that you're a work in
Mm-hmm.
progress. You have to acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
that. No one can acknowledge that for you. No one knows your goals. No one knows your internal desire. No one knows your internal resignations. So to, take ownership of
Mm-hmm.
your life going forward, like
Mm-hmm.
she said, we have to adjust. It's not an
Mm-hmm.
option. You wake up, you have to adjust. I just came from Walmart and I'm just catching my breath because just wearing that mask and being around
Yes.
so many other people. And we're in North Carolina where it appears to be an option for some,
Mm-hmm.
just going to the store to get the bare minimals becomes a process for me.
Right,
Um,
right.
and if I don't
Agreed.
address it, if I don't understand that this is the way that it is, then guess
Mm-hmm.
what? I'm causing myself all of this self chaos and
Mm-hmm.
depression and everything else that goes with
Mm-hmm.
it. So I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree.
And depression is running rampant right now.
Yeah.
I
Oh
mean, people
yes.
are overly stressed.
Mm-hmm.
And a
And
lot.
me and Jean was having a conversation, and it came up to me, how are you going to adapt to this transition? So we all sit in, we all think, we all dwell on, oh my God, this process is unbearable because, like you said, you have to wear the mask daily. Even if you don't want to, we still have to wear it to go into certain places. So how we're going to adjust this transition that it's still going to allow me to be the great me? How is this process going to still allow me to be fabulous?
That's right.
So if we don't actually sit down and analyze that whole part, then you're going to always find moments where you're going to be irritated. The most simplest things is now going to be a bigger irritation because you have not sat to actually process this whole adjustment that we have to make. This is a whole new aspect of life that I think that is very important that we sit down and actually say, okay, how has this affected me and how am I now going to move forward?
Right.
And still be able to accomplish, to achieve.
That's
well,
right.
I think one part of it is finding your space to release. What does that look like? Because a lot of times people don't know they can say no. They don't know that they can say stop. They don't know that they can disconnect themselves from a situation, and it doesn't take a response. It doesn't take you to engage. Sometimes it just takes you to sit back and just watch. And I think that's huge because a lot of times the stress that we allow to come upon us ain't even our stress. That makes sense.
Right. True.
If that makes sense. So, I know a lot of people, I didn't hear much of it this year, this new year. I didn't hear many resolutions. My New Year's, I didn't hear a lot of that this year.
I didn't see it.
Right.
No.
In the past, it was like, my New Year's resolution is that. But I mean, for some of you viewers, why is that? Why wasn't it a lot of resolutions this year? What was the thing that made you say, I'm not going to subject myself to that? Is that because you set a goal and you don't go through with it? Is it that you realize that the power is within you? What is it?
I think that maybe, and not speaking for myself, but for other aspects, my goal always daily is to move forward with the purpose. But with people, because I was not a part of, people who lost loved ones throughout last year and how their lives just changed traumatically. I think that when it came into coming into 2021, when 2020, so many things were so unexpected. And to make a resolution when you don't even know daily what to expect, it's kind of hard to commit to something because boom, like one day you're walking and the next day you're dropping. So it's like, do I really make a long term goal for 30 days? Like,
but that also speaks to what you said. That's a sign that folks are adjusting. And for me, 2020 was a humbling year. So I wouldn't dare lift my lips to push myself any further than I already have in 2020. I have things in 2020 that I started and I'm going to finish, whether it's this year or the next year. But prior to that, I was more of a, New Year's resolutions type girl. But when I changed my mindset to business, I learned how to work more in phases. So my phase may enter into 2021. So it's just my goal, my continuous goal, to just push forward, to keep it moving and let everything catch up with me. as it pertains to grace and mercy. But yeah, 2020 is a year that, it showed us that whatever you do today is your future tomorrow. It's your legacy.
Mm-hmm.
You can be out of here tomorrow, and if you're comfortable today with whatever you leave, whatever message you leave, or however your obituary prints up, then that's on you. So
Right.
that in itself has made me want to just be great at times when, again, it was just an adjustment. I had to get myself together just to go to the Walmart, about 2 hours. It was
I
a
completely
planning
understand.
process. It was a process.
Yeah.
And then you do also want to use that opportunity to put your clothes on. You don't go out that often, so slip on something decent. Take your shower before you go to the Walmart. I don't know, but the whole thing is that we have to adjust. But that I know that I can't let this interfere with my future or my legacy. So that's what keeps me going. So if 2021 brings that, then I'll be happy with that. Yep.
So I'm going to let Marshana, you take over this meeting. I got to mute myself for 1 minute.
Mm-hmm. Okay, no problem. So what do you, when you said humble, I want you to describe what humble means to you.
Oh, wow. It means that, you hug your family members more. You tell them you love them more. You spend as much time, considering all COVID restrictions and quarantine restrictions and CDC recommendations. You spend as much time as you can with those persons, and with no excuses, whether it be via Zoom,
no excuses. That's my favorite word.
Facebook, a walk in the park, where there's wide open space, or use opportunities on, nice days to go visit, your folk so that you're outside and, everybody has space and feel a little comfortable with the, the interchange. So that in itself made me humbled, because I took advantage of all these things, and I'm more of a outdoorsy type, sports. I like to run. I like to do national parks. I like to do outdoor events, concerts, things like that. And so for me not to be able to do that now, that also has caused some other type of changes. My exercise routine, which in fact it definitely released stress. I miss going to the gym, that sort of thing. So it humbles you, and it teaches you that you were basically concerned about all of the wrong things. You're taking things for granted, because these are the things that you now miss.
Right.
Just assembling to worship, with others, in the temple, so basically it's just things like that. Yeah. And out of all things, I think that's the most impactful thing for me.
Right. So you mentioned no excuses. I am very, very, very big on that. And people don't understand that in order for you to achieve, because we're talking about holistic success, you have to have no excuses. So that's why it's very, very important to be mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally grounded, because when you're grounded in all areas, it will allow you to have no excuses, because you have good energy coming from every aspect of your life, and that's how you remain unstoppable. And if you continue to make excuses for, let's say, self-care, we tend to put care and to pour out into everyone else's situation, to put a smile, to make sure your circle, your family, your loved ones, their friends happy, and you forget about you. And it's so easily we do that daily, to make sure every piece matches each other, but then that one piece that's very important that allows you continue to move and to pour out into other people is self. And if
Right.
you don't put that energy into yourself, then that's when excuses come. That's when
Exactly.
excuses come. And then those goals or those things that you want to manifest in yourself, then it doesn't happen. And if it does happen, it's not the full effect. And so you don't feel like you've grown in that particular aspect that you want to grow, that you want to blossom. A lot of times, you want people to see certain sides of you, because we all have different things that we could bring out into the world, and we don't get
Right.
to, people will never see that side of you because you have not in tune with self. Like, what can I do to actually allow them to see? If we'll say example for me, fitness. So if I'm not comfortable with my body,
Right.
then mentally I'm not strong enough to actually project what I actually want people to see, that gift that I have.
That's
So
right.
it's very important that we do meditation.
Yes.
Meditation allows you to think. It allows you to
It gives
actually
clarity.
be, yeah, to actually, okay, well, what is it that I like, what is it that I don't like, what is it that I want to accomplish,
Right.
what gives me energy to be unstoppable. And once
Right.
you find whatever it that gives you energy to be unstoppable, then those are the things that you need to try to make repetitious.
About
Right.
exercise.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exercise is very.
Exercise.
I listen today. We'll say prime example for today. Today, I did not get up, and I did not run, and I just went straight to being the I put on my mother hat and start helping my son with school and everything. But I found myself being a little bit more irritated than calm and patient, and then I had to think about, what, I did not run, and running is me time. That's my me
That
time.
that's what I wanted to say, to piggyback on your conversation about self-care. As women, some of us wear multiple hats, wife, mother, grandmother. And when we see that self-care block, the first thing you think about is, oh my gosh, this is what I need to be projected about me or
Mhm.
presented about me, or this is what is important about me. And so we put a lot of things in that slice of pie. We put exercise in there, we put baking in there, we put a little shopping in there,
Mhm.
go to yoga and Pilates class. And,
Mhm.
oh, I go, to a sauna, and then, oh, wow, I have to get my hair and my nails done, So after a while, that little slice of pie, spills into to other time. So if
Mhm.
you're a coordinated person, if you're not a person that allows you to be on a self-managed schedule, meaning that you can manipulate your schedule anytime you want to, but definitely have a plan, then you'll find yourself overwhelmed and
Mhm.
you running out of me time. And that's when the irritation begins for
Yeah.
me.
Mhm.
I'm like, wait a minute, everybody has everything going on and I can't get to the nail salon, so yeah. So, I mean, like,
Mhm.
it's that sort of thing. So I found that I definitely had to make sure that that slice of pie was not for everybody.
Mhm.
It was specifically for me. Of course, I may want to do some things, pick up, run a couple of errands, but that errand time shouldn't be included in my self care
I have a
time.
question. Now that we are was well still is in the COVID-19 pandemic, and it allowed us to either stay in closed doors longer. Do you think that because it was the time where we were inside in closed doors, that you had more time to have self-care and to think about and analyze yourself, or was it the opposite?
It was actually prior to COVID. I just had like a shift in my life. I was just getting highly irritated from just random stuff. And just to come to find out, it was because I had stopped going to the gym as regularly as I had been. So I had to get that back in my schedule. I also transitioned work. I mean, it was like a shift. And then COVID came. So COVID, basically, I utilized the time to address some projects that I had abandoned. And we also used the time to relocate, you know. So basically, COVID was kind of like weird for us. It was like, it like bought us time, like really. So as opposed to me discovering, you know, things about myself, it was like, oh my gosh, I really have time to address. Let me get it going. Address some of the things that I had already started or initiated.
Okay. Me, let me see how I don't I don't even I'm a scheduling person, and I think that when things get off schedule, that's when I become like off the edge a little bit. I'm a writer. I like to write things down. Like I'm more like an organized person. So it's like those spare of the moment type of waves that come, you be like, okay, how am I going to navigate my system now and turn a different direction to handle this? And I think now a lot of times too, it's very important to be selective with your energy. Not everybody, you know, needs your energy. We have to be very mindful how we respond, and if it's even necessary. And that's with everybody: mama, sister, cousin, brother, friend. Everybody gets the selective treatment, because sometimes when we respond to other people's situation, then it becomes our situation.
I hit them before.
And you become that person that really is the energy is not for you at that moment in time. So we kind of fill our plate. We do it to ourselves without even recognizing it, without it even being a conscious, because what, you know, the charismatic person that you probably are. And when we give a person energy on some things that they could either figure out themselves. And sometimes people will use your energy to not actually recognize themselves. So they kind of use you as a pacifier. You want the
Girl, you better
okay,
preach. You
you
better
want
preach.
the oh, you know, you got it, or the no, no, no. And if you keep feeding into people energy that's not actually the energy that you want to receive, then they're never going to change. And that's for us too. Us, sometimes we as individuals, myself speaking, if there's something that I'm yearning for and I know my friend is going to give me that, then I'm going, and you know, you have those particular friends. This person going to do this, going to, you know, rub you this way, that person going to rub you that way, this person going to rub you another way. And if at that time, in that moment, I need a certain rub, then guess what? You're going to call that, because that's the energy that that person gives, because there's a cover that you don't want to uncover.
But is it agreed that all relationships should be beneficial?
If it's going to allow you to elevate.
Right. So isn't that desired that all of your relationships?
No, not every. Okay, we have to, you going deep now. Not,
yes,
you have
levels.
associates, and then you have friends, right? So
Well, no,
you
no. We're
have
just
to,
talking about the platonic, the organic, just the definition of relationship, just the communication between two people. Shouldn't
I
it be
think the
purposeful? Should it be purposeful?
it should. It should be purpose. What? As human
Mm-hmm.
beings have, we are not perfect. And we all have things that we have not dealt with uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So when it makes us uncomfortable, relation, they know that thing that makes you uncomfortable. So
Mm-hmm.
at times as friends, we may honestly pacifier that thing that makes you uncomfortable. And we
Mm-hmm.
may say that, you know what, I'm gonna revisit that later.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not to say that it's not purposeful. It's stating that we're not going to do that. I'm not going to do that every conversation that I'm having with you. We gonna be the real. We gonna be 1,000. I'm gonna allow you to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Right. So,
And
but
in
that
order to
also,
do that,
but that also speaks
not
to the energy sponges, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, when we choose relationships, we are then endorsed and empowered to choose them wisely. We have the authority to stay in them, and we have the authority to walk out of them within 30 seconds. For me, I know that I am not in a place where I can do an energy warrior, energy sponge right now. I need you to be an energy warrior. I need you to be on the same path. I need you to be going in the same trajectory as I am. I can't do that. Like if you want to be where you are, and if every time you call me, is whoa, 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 I would suggest that you seek therapy, which is nothing wrong with it. But I don't think we should abuse our friendships in that manner, because I'm just saying, I know some folk that you have to look at the phone
and that's where you
first.
go be
You
right.
look at the phone and you have to make that decision to answer the phone. And when it gets to that point, then you have to start making choices. Whether, I'm gonna taper this relationship down to, until it's just a caring type thing, hey, something happens to one of your family members or whatever, my condolences, here's some food for the repast, here's, what I'm saying? I'm not saying to like erase these folks out of your life. You never know who you're going to need. But when you identify someone as a toxic, when you identify someone as an energy drainer, then you are now in authority to taper the relationship. And I'm just letting you know from experience that that's what you'll have to start doing. Sometimes it'll be a family member. Hey, you can't choose your family, certainly. You were born into a family, so there's certain things that you just can't choose. However, you are empowered of your own zone. You listen, this is my zone and this is what I can do. Do what you can,
Right.
say what you mean. Say what you mean. Do what you can and say what you mean.
That's what's
That's my
being.
experience. Like you said, you have to watch your energy, watch who you're giving it to. It's valuable. It's priceless. Through experience, you acquired it. Through your spirituality, you
Right.
support it, and you protect it through your, So, hey, it's worth protecting. It's peace of mind.
Yeah.
You can't purchase it.
Right. That's very, very important. Very, very important. The mindset, and people don't realize how powerful your mindset is, and it all stems from energy. Like what do you want? And let me tell you, we never ever have to remove people, decline people, people will walk and remove themselves out of your life, and it's not because there was any malice or anything. You can still be cordial. You will still, when I see you, hey, but they will tend to stray, and that's what good people, and the ones that you say you're not the counselor and you have to go ahead and send you to somebody else. I found it to where I people are it was just this season where I was going through, like, people are just in your life for increments, and the increments were for them to receive that strength, that guidance, or that it's okay to be you and not have to change for other people. So sometimes people be under your umbrella for just a periodical time, and then they remove, and not remove because you say, but because it's just their time to go. And as you become selective with your energy, everything is said without words, because
Exactly.
I can't
People are
respond.
seasonal. Some people are
Mhm.
seasonal,
They
you
are.
know. I mean, and we have to acknowledge that, and it's okay. Some people are seasonal. Not
Mhm.
everybody was, meant to, be in your life forever.
Mhm.
So you, again, you have to think about it. Tomorrow's not promised.
No,
Where
not at
you pla-
all. And
where you planting all your energy and all of your good vibes, and using all that spirituality um, and your virtuous practices and things like that. You have to be careful because people will use you, like you said. They'll use you for every drop of it. You
Mhm.
know.
Are you I like to, before I go to bed, I don't say no prayer like most people say. I don't do none of that. I
Okay.
just go to sleep. But before I do that, I like to, because the next day is not promised, and we hope for tomorrow. I do actually analyze my day and see, from the whatever goals that I have set, did I accomplish something today? Because a lot of us wake up and we just wake up and we do other things to help others and forget that today is for me. I woke up to achieve greatness for myself, and with achieving greatness for myself, everybody around me is great. And that's why I say the same. You are connected to greatness. That's the energy that I go to sleep with and I wake up with. But before I go to sleep, I analyze my day and say, what have I done to actually continue to move forward with a purpose, and how am I now going to go in tomorrow, if it's promised to me, to go harder to attack whatever it is that I'm trying to accomplish.
Right. For me, I'm a health and safety trainer, public health and background,
Mhm.
crisis management and background.
Okay.
Um, so I have a slightly biased um, opinion as it pertains to the whole like self-care part of the holistic will. I believe that definitely health and wellness is there, and as a matter of fact, I'm plug myself, next month we're going to have a nice session just like this where we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about health and wellness and where we should be as people, not necessarily women or men,
Mhm.
just people,
In general.
while considering, cultural background and ethnicity. But I believe everything starts with health and wellness. There is no way possible that you can wake up in the morning and attend to your kid or a family member or anyone for that fact if your blood pressure is out of control, you have
Right.
you're
Absolutely
seriously
not.
overweight, you're retaining fluid, your mind is not right, your mind is not at peace. And so it begins with health and wellness. And what that means, it means something different for everyone. That's like one of the one things that has autonomy when it comes to people. Is like everyone is different when it comes to health and wellness. What do you need to keep you functioning at the top of your game so that you can be who you need to be for you first, right? And then the family, or your friends or whomever that has a relationship with you. Remember, we talked about relationships. So, you have to be careful who you're giving all of that to. And be mindful of it, things that we want to eat, you may want to just change your diet or just switch to another store. I found a brand new store, Sprouts. I love it.
Yeah.
Because I'm more like a Harris Teeter or Wegmans type of girl. So here they have, a Publix, Harris Teeter, and a Sprouts. And I just fell in love when I went in Sprouts because, they have small servings of organic food. That was one of my goals. I want to monitor what I'm eating. I want food that has no processing. I want to eat food that's been cleared by USDA and not just wrapped up with a price on it. I want to eat better. I care about what I put in my mouth now. So, because we have an empty nest, we can do that. We can go out and eat kosher every day if we wanted to. So I just wanted to fine tune that because I spend more money on things of lesser value.
Yes.
Right. So, now I'm at the point where it's that, I deserve infrared yoga. I deserve to shop at Sprouts. I deserve to, join Club Pilates, and these little things like that, because had none of this would have happened, right? Like you said, the COVID, and then I told you I had my shift. Then I was on a roll. I was on a go. I was, work in the morning, Starbucks at lunch, gym in the afternoon, go home and cook, wind down with wine, watch something on TV, and that was a cycle for me. I'm not a robot. I'm not a computer, I need time to think. I need time to do nothing if that's what I need time to do. And then when you allow yourself to be that person, then you'll find that other folk around you, they'll respect that as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, if they haven't gotten it by now, the person looking at this will have to must realize that it's a total thing. It's a total mindset. It's a total body. So they get into in order to get there. I mean, each one of us help each other. We don't have all the answers, but when you share like this, regardless if you're with a group of women or you're with men, having a conversation about issues that are detriment to what is happening with you today helps the next person. So when you all are speaking about spirituality, your workouts, your health and wellness, and I'm sitting here and I'm listening because I'm really on two different lives. I got another whole thing going on over here. Even though when I think about it, I think about myself and I'm like, my thing is, I will stop what I'm doing for myself to do something for you. I'm not doing that crap this year. I'm first. I'm first. You get it? And that's big for me because I always put me on the back burner. I always say, okay, I'll get to me later. Not just with self-care on the the physical, like manicuring and pedicuring and all that stuff like that. Not that. I'm talking about mentally.
That's right.
I put me on the back burner for everybody else. And when I need somebody, by myself, I feel so defeated. So you know what? I say, let me try this thing since coming into 2021 had this shift for me, and it made me realize, Angie, and here's one of the things financially. I realized I was going to the nail tech to get a manicure and pedicure, gel mani, gel pedi, spending like $80.
Add it up.
You understand what I'm saying? Look.
Yes, manicure, pedicure.
I took it up. no gel nails. I went and found out because to use gel polish, because that's all they're doing is polishing your nails with gel polish, and they use the UV light. So I was like, how can I get this stuff? Well, during the pandemic, everybody took a great advantage of Amazon, of Walmart, and they got all these deliveries. And you look at TikTok. I'm a huge fan of TikTok. TikTok made me realize that I could save some money with do-it-yourself. Girl, I went and bought all the gel polish, the UV lamp, and everything, and I'm gonna do my own nails and feet, do my own manicure. It gives you a sense of release for yourself. It makes you embrace who you are a little bit more, and you get to save 80 doggone bucks. You understand what I'm saying? To be in this pandemic and have financial stability, it's big.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Considering the rest, yeah.
A lot of people lost their jobs.
Oh my gosh, their
homes,
cars. They were just evicted. Like in DC, just the area that I'm from, they had put off evictions, and then that expired, and so just to see so many people like on the way into the district, rather Maryland, they were just setting people out left and right, and it's like, what do you do? Like, the building owner has to live as well. The building owner has insurance to pay, bills to pay, a family to take care of, investments to protect. So what do? So they had to let it expire. But in my opinion, I think that, housing vouchers should have been offered for some, like for payment, just, as part of pandemic relief, you just, assign it to the realtor or whomever, the building owner. But that's in a perfect world. And a lot of people were just evicted. So yeah, it's good. Like you said, you're doing your own nails and toes, but it's good that we came up in a generation where we knew how to do those nails and toes. Think about the baby girls that's always been going to the nail salon. Think about them. Like, they're like, what to do? Like, I don't know. Well, they'll figure it out, like you said, TikTok, Pinterest, and Instagram, and
Etsy.
Yeah.
I'm serious, and it made you, a lot of times I realized that with myself, I'm a outdoor person, as you mentioned that you are, but I also realized that I'm like a discovery person. I learned so much about my community. I learned, just being out and seeing stuff, places I never been. So I realized that outdoors is my meditation. Water is my peace. So anytime I'm out, I'm like in a good space. And that's where I let go. So I started, one thing that worked for me as well is exercising. I did good. I really dedicated myself during that time. I did good. That's why I said body, yada, yada. No.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Good. I began to eat better, like you say, not so much of processed foods and things like that. But I began to feel better about myself. I began to embrace who I am, and it began to, illuminate from me to my friends, and they began to feel better about themselves. So it all works like that energy, you attract and you give. What you give, you attract, sort of. And it just makes it all come together. So I'm very, very grateful to be in a space now that I'm in. Like how I can say I'm in a good space. I'm in
at
and
peace.
I think,
What you say, at peace?
At peace, yes. And you know what? Also, I learned how to say no. I learned how to say stop.
Good for you.
That's big. I mean, that's big. And once you get to that and you can reclaim who you are and be guarded with your energy, like you said too, that's huge. So
Mhm.
I want that tonight with this holistic success, achieving it. First of all, you got to realize you need it.
Yeah.
Now, I know some of y'all are kind of bougie and y'all ain't going to say because y'all feel like y'all going to be judged, but we don't judge over here. So you can kind of, I mean, be honest with yourself. That's all that it matters at the end. You got to be honest with yourself. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about Shayna. Don't worry about so. You got to be honest with yourself.
Right.
Okay.
So when you have this sit down with yourself, and that seems like hard for people because looking at yourself is the worst. You know, you're your biggest critic, but you got to. And when you sit down and you begin to analyze you, look at all the imperfections that you think are there. Most likely they're not there. That's just, but look at those things and try to write them down and figure out how you can accomplish those things and how you can make them better. And then put it to work. You got to put in the work. Now, we're not giving you all this and trying to tell you that it's going to be so easy. Everybody want to wake up and be like that fine. No, it don't happen like that. You got to run, you got to jog, you got to do all that stuff, eat better, get rest, drink lots of water. You got to do that. So
And you know what else, Angie, that I found that works well with me? I have a tablet, and like she said, she's a writer. But for me, I write down priority items. Priority items, and in not emergency items, priority, because sooner or later they'll become urgent, and then you don't want your urgencies to become your emergency. So I have a priority list of things that I know that I know that I want to do, and I know that I plan to do. And
I
I
like
and
that.
if you ask my wife, she'll tell you I literally scratched them off the list. Like
Priority list.
I just don't have a dry erase board up because she'll probably just think that I'm crazy or that she already thinks. But yeah, you know, you got to make that priority list, and you know, to see just striking it off, like it's almost like a vision board, you know, just to see you scratching that thing off like that. Oh, I got my this, I got my that. And I also had to find something to pour my reserve energy in, because I had found myself on the phone with everybody, you know. Then next thing you know, folk will hey, if you there, they're gonna reach out. But I found that, you know, I have plants now, I have fish that I attend to now. Yeah. So yes, they're very therapeutic. I have some large plants, and some special species plants. I have water species plants in my tank. And then I have some clown knifefish that are like very delicate. So it requires my attention, you know, to check the water daily, and you know, and make sure there's no residual food left, and you know, things like that. So it's not quite a puppy, but you know, but you know, and we can leave, you know, we could just drop one of those feeder tablets in there and they'll be okay for about 7 days. But you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those type of things that I can watch grow, you know, that I can say quarantine with me, my
yes.
um, you know, and other little projects, little ends and odds. I'm trying to not do too much clearance shopping. You know, like you always can find something on clearance you need. So I'm not doing any of that in 2021. All of my purchases will be intentional. And then, yeah, I'm going to contribute more to like my, you know, my workout wardrobe, and, you know, that sort of thing, my equipment, you know, I'm looking to buy some lift bars and things like that. So I'm moving in that sort of direction for 2021, not necessarily a resolution, but again, it was something that I initiated last year. And I just prayed that, you know, every day I wake up that, you know, I could just be greater and attend to my little projects, and to see how I can transform, not just my character, and not just my business, but like you said, the way that you want the world to see you, whatever that means for you, that's going to give you your mental security at the end of the day. So
Right.
that's what I plan on doing. And it is total wellness. Like
Yes,
everything.
yes.
It's,
You
it's
know,
total.
one of the things during this pandemic too that I realized about myself is I wanted to get in tap with my creative side.
Mhm.
So I wasn't an artsy person. I used to say I don't know how to draw, I can't sing, I don't play an instrument, those type of things. So I've been doing, little artsy things that I've learned from the TikTok and the Pinterest and writing a little bit more and stuff like that. So I'm evolving into my creative side, if that makes sense. So I noticed that in that part, I feel so powerful. I don't know. I feel like, oh girl, when you finish with this drawing, it's gonna be the bomb. It'd be so ugly, but I'd be like, yes. I be like, no, I'm gonna try it again. Even it's that sense of excitement that you started, you completed, and you're okay with the outcome. And you got a chance to do it again. So that's what's exciting for me. Not so much of what I designed, but more so of I started, I did it, and I had an outcome. And I'm like, yes. And my son be like, you like it? And I even started cutting my own hair. Usually I have no hair. This is pandemic hair. And I would go and I'll get someone to plait up the part that's pandemic. I used to have completely shaved, right? So during the pandemic, I couldn't get a haircut. So I would like, let this grow and this is the outcome. And then I said, well, I'm gonna just start cutting this myself. And I started cutting my hair myself. The first time I did it, it was horrible. How could you mess up a bald head? So my son came in, he was like, you got like a patch of hair right here, a patch back here. You didn't do a good job, Mom. I said, well, clean it up, do it right. And when it grow back again, I'm gonna try again. And that's what it's like for me. It's that bit of excitement of at least putting forth the effort.
All right. All right.
So with that, ladies, I'm gonna have to say good night. I'm so full. I'm like sitting here. I'm glad you came on. It's a pleasure to meet you. You're my cousin's cousin.
That's right. That's right.
Wow. So I don't know if she told you. I'm just I'm that one on the other side.
Okay.
I came there, I don't know how long ago it was, that I came to visit. I stayed for like 2 weeks, I think. And I'll come again. I'm waiting to meet y'all. I want to meet you.
Likewise.
I'll be sending you an email with some more details, and you're welcome anytime.
Okay, that'll work. And I'll also, again, once I get everything set up, I would love for you ladies to join us as we have our first Wellness Wednesday. It's going to be in February. We're going to have a good time, of course.
Okay.
For you all to participate in a dialogue. Again, we're just looking for that energy from like-minded folks going in that forward trajectory. And you're going that way, we're all going the same way. So, and I really learned a lot. Thank you for the invite. It felt good to talk.
Yeah.
It just felt good to talk. Like, you don't really, that you feel these things, but you very seldom have an opportunity to talk about it because everybody don't want to talk about these things, and then maybe some people are not as expressive as you may want them to be or need them to be to have like a long-term conversation. But I will continue, pray and urge you to continue what you're doing. It's necessary.
Thank you.
And I'll definitely, of course, share the invites next time around for some folks that I know that will enjoy, this conversation.
So we're here every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. We
Okay.
have, sometimes we have guests. if we have a guest, then it will just be the guest and us on the screen. But when we don't have a guest, we'll share the link on social media, and anybody that gets the link can come in and have a conversation with us. It's just an open floor. Persons that are interested in promoting their business or their program, or they have a story to share, or they might have a talent that they just feel like releasing and serenading all of us, they're more than welcome to contact us at Hosanna for Youth at hosannaforyouth@gmail.com. You can call us at 954-300-1370, or you can just inbox us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Inbox us at Hosanna for Youth. Any which way, we're reachable 24/7. And make sure you do so, because this platform could be one that you utilize to share your gifts with all of us. So if you know someone, share us on social media so they can see us. Yes.
Absolutely. You got it. You got it.
All right. You have anything, Shayna? You good?
No, just stay fabulous.
All right. Happy Wednesday. And all the grace to you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good.